We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. Finally, we are back and the coffee is locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about the state of crypto. We have to talk about where we are in the cycle, the do's and don'ts, basically, of what can and should not happen for this cycle to continue, but also why just one big leading indicator is telling us what we have to know and why we might not be as worried as many are in this market. But let's go into this. Enough with this little intro and make sure to stay here all the way through. So, good morning to each and every one of you. I hope you're well. Finally, after more than 1 week without Crypto Morning Coffee and me traveling to Barcelona and back, we are finally back here with the live stream, and I am excited to do this shorter live stream with you guys. So make sure to smash up the like button if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed yet, notifications on if you haven't yet, and so on, right? Don't forget to check out also the Rare Hodler tier, which could bring you into our Telegram group, because that was obviously a place where conversation continued while these streams were not going on. So good morning to the Rare Hodlers here. Good morning to G Money bringing the coffee to the stream. Good morning to Dom Vu. Morning, boys. Blaze Hayes every day. Also JW is here. Good morning to you guys. In this sad times in crypto, yeah, exactly. It sounds sad, but to be honest, there is still hope, and we will be looking at it. So let's check it out here quickly. How is the state of our crypto market? What could happen? What can happen? What can't? So we have the Bitcoin price here on the monthly chart. We see that Bitcoin finds resistance at this level, where I also said, hey, look, guys, from an inverse head and shoulder perspective, right? This is breakout retest, and this retest obviously is not complete. So the confirmation is not in yet, as this still has a 21 days to go on this candle, and then also needs a reversal. But so far we see there is good reaction coming in here, right? That is the first point that we would have to see from a technical standpoint. And we are coming to the fundamentals in a second, right? Not only looking at the crystal ball. The second part that should not happen is we should not continue the trend like this, because otherwise we get a TSI cross at the monthly level, which until now has never failed to call the bear market, right? So a pump here is very welcome. Yeah, maybe the last leg, the last pump, who knows? We don't know yet. Plus, we are not really oversold. We are not really overbought and very far from oversold on the monthly, but usually a bull market top looks like this. Okay, so very interesting signals here, right? Bear market threatening after this, but nowhere near to confirm, right? So you could go another month like this, sideways, and then pump again. So this indicator doesn't tell you anything until it actually crosses, right? Okay, second part, everyone's talking about Bitcoin, all eyes on Bitcoin, right? We see here the CNBC is showing us a Bitcoin article as their main article today. Bitcoin falls over 5% as volatility continues after Trump's Bitcoin reserve plan. Wall Street wants clarity on trade growth in the coming week after the latest sell-off. So I think there is a little bit of uncertainty in the market. And in general, the market is trying to find itself, and we will see in a second why that is, right? But before we do that, let's take a quick look at the DXY, because it's telling us another story. So why we are going down on the market, the DXY, look at this. We have been in the past days and weeks, we've been saying, hey, it would be good to lose the support. Look at this. Wow, the DXY just took a nosedive, completely lost the support, here on the weekly candles, and there's only 4 days left, and we're just trying here to stabilize. So obviously that is a good trajectory for risk on assets, for crypto and so on. But let's see how it continues. There are a lot of events coming up. Let's see here what's coming up next. Fed Chair Powell's speech was already. So that is not that. That is a little bit too clumped up. Let's see what's the next here. Probably that was the consequence of the Fed Powell speech. PPI month over month inflation rate, core inflation rate is coming next. Home sales, a Fed press conference on the 19th where we will see if there is another rate cut coming. As some people say, the next rate cut if there is rate cutting coming, then this might be the signal to go into recession. So these are the talks that are going on right now. But do you remember this? So I tweeted this on the 21st of December, right? We were very high on crypto. Everyone was pretty excited. And I said, when global liquidity leads and Bitcoin follows, then there might be more pain ahead. So we saw a lot of pain after that, right? I believe we have seen a part of it. What are your thoughts? Correction already over? Question mark. It was not, right? You see it here. If you go here, this was then the January, but then bam, 2 months here. And in my opinion, it has everything to do with this M2. So on a closer look on this, what we have posted here was that M2 was going down hard and Bitcoin had just topped out basically on that global liquidity pattern, right? But let's look at the state of the art right now. It's the opposite. Yeah, everyone is super bearish. And here you see that what was part of the post. You see it unfolding here, right? So we had been going sideways a little bit, and now we crashed, right? It's leading about, I think it's 10 weeks or so, a little bit more, maybe even a little bit more. And now it has bottomed, right? Now it has bottomed and reversed, and we did not see that, as we hadn't seen the collapse here. Instead, we went sideways and upwards, right? But if you look at the past, we've always been following this, right? Since 2023, we are following this global liquidity pattern here. So what's coming next should be this here, right? Should be the bump, should be another correction maybe, but it should be the rise. And gold indicates that as well. If you remember, we were comparing Bitcoin to gold front-running Bitcoin by 3 months. Gold has been rallying in February, and so that is all playing together here, and it's very interesting. So another same chart, other colors, just to see this again, a little bit more of the chart maybe also here, right? So here's our bounciness, so to say. So there could be a little bit more, but overall there should be the rise next, and then everyone will be, oh shit, the crypto market is back on again, right? Another thing that supports this is there's a Bitcoin 3 month percentage change, that we have here, compared to the GMI Financial Conditions Index as a 3-month lead. And also that implies that there is a V-shaped recovery coming in. So there's a little blip missing, but somewhere there and thereabout, right? And these, I really like these macro comparison charts here from Julian Bittel. Really good stuff. And also what he says here, right? There's a lot of noise in the market right now, conflicting narratives everywhere. But here's the reality, or at least his take, right? Everything happening in markets right now, especially in crypto, is a direct consequence of the tightening of financial conditions in Q4 last year. When financial conditions tighten, liquidity gets drained and economic surprises start to slow. I mentioned this before, including a tweet posted yesterday, which I didn't see, by the way. That's why we are seeing a soft patch in the economic data and why the market is freaking out about a growth scare with recession talk now making a comeback. Here's the thing, this will all reverse next month. Financial conditions have been easing rapidly over the past 2 months. Dollar down, we saw it right now, right, in the DXY. Bond yields down, oil down, and that's setting the stage for a recovery in data soon. Remember, financial conditions are always leading. One final point, with the drop to 80,000, this tightening is now fully reflected in the price of Bitcoin. Could we go a little lower? Sure, but here's what I would say. Everyone's already on the same side of the trade. Sentiment is extremely bearish, and Bitcoin is sitting at an RSI of 23, the most oversold level since August 2023. So if you're still bearish, don't get too comfortable. And I would fully agree with this assessment. I think that's exactly what we are looking at. As we are probably on the oversold, must be on the daily or so. Yeah, we had been oversold here on this last correction. Now we're getting a little bit choppiness, but we already see the bounce here today. By the way, looking at CME gaps, right? Let's just assume that that the price will always go to close the CME gap, which is 90x% true. The price came down here to close this CME gap. It came all the way back up to close to the small CME gap that we had here. As we also said in our last stream, we had seen this opening. And now, guess what? On the weekend, we had more volatility. Whenever you have volatility on the weekend, you get a new CME gap like this. Well, the price at least has to bounce a little bit back already to close this new gap here, right? So we will see. But that should be the direction later on. So CME gap is above, and that's for the shorter term a good thing, right? Yeah, let's continue here. Also, this one here is a little bit more like a bullish chart, right? The bottom and upper bands of bull markets after, or bull and bear markets after halving. We are sitting and trading at the lower end of this band. Bitcoin dips below 84K, touch grass, gains will come later. We will see about that, but that just as the bull, mega bull perspective. What is not neglectable and is just facts, right, is that we've never seen an accumulation this aggressive, right? This is crazy. Like we are sitting below all-time highs and we are just seeing massive accumulation, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. So, so we see basically the blue line here is the demand, and the dotted line is the moving average for that demand, and the white line is the Bitcoin price, and the red arrow is just something to make you even more bullish, okay? But what we see is like that the demand is way higher than before, and I think this will over the next weeks and months go and back and come and to reflect in the prices, right? One thing that's interesting is this assessment here, right? basically Quinton says the start of the bear market or the start of the bull market hasn't even started. So either it's the start of the bear market or the bull market hasn't even really started yet. He says basically, I'd say the psychology of Wall Street cheat sheet is not for exact overlays, but in this case, the big question is, have we just seen euphoria, which is the last stage, and now we are in complacency, saying, hey, the bull market, it will continue, it's just a matter of financial conditions, blah blah, right? And we are just crashing more, and then anxiety and denial and so on. If that would be the case, I would say we've never really had a bull market then. In Bitcoin, yes, because we are up 6x or so. But we didn't see an altcoin season. We didn't see the typical everyone's talking about it event and so on. We more had our own niche and like a business reflected bull market then. But it is a possibility, right? So the other scenario is this one here. We are just here and we have all of this in front of us, which time-wise coincides and also structure-wise would coincide with the 2017 bull market, right? So that brings me back to my own chart here for Bitcoin, right, on the monthly. If this is the head and shoulders breakout and we just retested, then obviously after a retest there should be a breakout coming and a rise in crypto prices coming still that goes beyond. But on the other hand, the TSI makes me a little bit thinking about, hey, could I be just too bullish? Could I be wrong? Well, we didn't reach the end. We didn't hit the top line here unless everyone's trading on this. Wait a second, here we go. We didn't hit the top line here, so I say there's the room. Either this is valid or it's not, but it will show only once it touches this white trend line. Let's see here. Let's see you guys from the chat. Let's see what you have to say about this, guys. Come on. Is this the end, or are we in complacency already? Or is this just the beginning, right? That's the big question. By the way, smash up the like button if you haven't yet. Smash up the like button for this live stream. Let's see here. Andrew Dunlap, good morning and good evening. Good morning to you. And Europe needs the Germans to step up and rearm? What does it? Oh, rearm. Yeah, now I see it. Rearm. But don't go too crazy, bitte. Okay. Yeah, memo received. Actually, that's already confirmed, because, as I said in the last live stream, there, like the new government, after promising that they are not going to lift the debt brake, it took them 1 week to lift the debt brake and create an 800 billion euro financial pack that includes massive investments into the army, okay? So into the German forces and so on. So that is definitely happening. So what you say is already happening, yeah, in that sense. Does it involve a nuclear bomb and stuff like that? No, it doesn't. We will see how it will be spent, right? That's also like, it's not enough just being big monies. It's also the question, how much will you spend on what, right? So that's always important to see as well. Now, for your altcoins, the bad news is, the bad news here is that we are moving sideways on a very high level and we are still green. So we really have this sideways chop going on now, where the altcoins are just, a good buy if you believe in the altcoin market coming. Otherwise, you will find your altcoins down on the week, on the month, on the day. Everything's down. even today, minus 8%, while Bitcoin is green. Some altcoins are a little bit green, but overall, it's like everything's on discount, right? And I think that is, that it is what it is, right? Bitcoin dominance is still up there. Bitcoin dominance could go higher if Bitcoin goes on a tear and countries start pouring into Bitcoin. Then it might be that there is more time for Bitcoin and less time for altcoins right now, and that the altcoin season is further out than we thought, because we thought it would be starting now, right? And it didn't. So we see it here, right? We thought this was the start of the alt season, but it wasn't. So now we thought this might be the start of the alt season. Well, question mark, right? But so far, it doesn't want to, the dominance doesn't want to collapse. So yeah, there might be more time to either accumulate or to hodl, but altcoins are getting wrecked right now against Bitcoin. Yeah, I think it's also a good time to actually let's pull up the other chart, the comparison, cycle comparison, at least for now. Good time to pull up some cycle comparisons and to eliminate the. Here we could, right? It was possible to. Yeah, there we go. You can eliminate. So there you go. Current cycle red, 2017 orange, and 2019, 20, whatever, 20 to 21 in green. And we see that this would be the shittiest bear market of all times if it's already like that. And in at least on this cycle comparison, we forgot to rally, right? Which is not that great. So we will see if the rally comes next. No cycle is ever the same. Let's take a look also at this one. I wish this one here, halving to halving, I wish this one was available in dark design. So here you go. So you see that we are forming this rounding top-ish looking thing that I really don't like too much, but I still don't give up the hope. Let's see. This is the halving to halving comparison where we are behind. Yeah, you see here we have rallied way before in 2017 a little bit later, and now we are very late. Okay, on a bottom to bottom comparison, we are on track, but also here now where I said before, okay, now we should also here we see, hey, where's the pump? I mean, where's the reversal? And I think it will happen fairly soon. I still think it will happen, but also here we are behind, and that causes the friction. That causes people to be desperate, because I think that was their last hope, was these models, right? So then you have the top comparison, right? Also here is if we take this out, you see that on this comparison we still have some time, right? But also on this comparison, it was the top in the previous cycle, right? That was basically the first top, and then there was one more pump to the second top, which was then around October to November of that last year. So I personally would give it more time, given the nature of the cycle, to see. And we're taking a close look to the indicators. Plus, if the global liquidity, if you believe like me that global liquidity is the main actor here, and global liquidity has this bounce, then obviously also it can be that global liquidity sometimes takes longer to come back. And then, good morning, hodler. How goes it? So far, so good. Finally, a new Crypto Morning Coffee. I am excited about that, and I hope you are as well, guys. So yeah, that is basically it from the macro perspective. So what do we have right now? Well, we have altcoins absolutely smashed and deep in the gutter. So we can definitely look at them, right? Also waiting for the bounces here. Oh, what do we have here? I refreshed and it's Metacade. So we will see for Metacade here, for example, is fairly clinging strong, right? There's not much history and so on, so we don't know what will happen next, but a turnaround here to the highs would be great to finally break this massive overhead resistance here that we have here, and we failed 3 times to get through it. So this is very painful. Let's see how Devi is doing. Also one of the yeah, so there was another chart for Devi though that I had, the gate there you go. Okay, so Devi lost the first one. Actually, I did not think that it will go that deep. I thought that we will, after calling that we go to this, we marked the possibility to go down all the way to this 40, which is the now very likely target to get down to the 40 cents. But yeah, so as said before, it could turn out into something like this, right? Like this. But we see really altcoins are getting wrecked here on their 66% down for Devi. So that obviously hurts after we had this nice top here. Where the RSI also was at an 80, so that definitely gave us some clues, I would say. No RSI, no data here on the monthly for Devi. Let's look at one of the coins that should have more strength, which is Link. Link USDT. So our idea here is still drawn in. Our idea was after this retest that we bounce and fly off, right? And for sure on a longer interval that would be hopefully the case. But we see that also here, like where's our pump, right? So some things don't align. We see that all of this happened quite nicely. Breakout, retest, everything from the bear market. We were never overbought. This is very interesting, right? And that should give us. So we were never overbought like in the last bull market or so. So we will see. And we never placed an all-time high or so for Chainlink. So if history is any indication, we should be coming up and put a new all-time high for projects like Chainlink that have the biggest adoption. Otherwise, probably the altcoin market is screwed overall, right? And that is, yeah. Hey Ronai, I would not be as quick yet. Are we in a bear market? I would not be as quick yet to judge that. Let's wait and see a little bit more. Let's see here. Ducking Cover says, like Sailor said, reserve announced and market dumps. They want your BTC. Yeah, that's absolutely. Smash up the like button. Ronai, you have to see the beginning of the stream or the previous part of the stream, and then you will see that I don't think so. That I wouldn't call it a bear market yet, and I will never call it a bear market until we cross the TSI here. If we bearishly cross, I would announce the bear market. But look at this. We saw it in the last cycle. The following happened. We had all this here, all this downturn, and the TSI. It just wouldn't cross. It just wouldn't cross over, right? So then we had our bull cross finally. So it was we had the pump and we didn't bull cross, and then we had the dump and we didn't deviate. So we will see. Until now we had no false alert here on this. So if we cross here, I'm the first one to go online and say, guys, very, very sorry for the analysis. But we crossed now and it's a bear market, yeah. But not the case just yet, in my opinion. I think we could bounce here. Also, please remember, this is the pattern that we look at. We have to hold this level, in my opinion, at least on a monthly basis. At the worst case, I would say the 74,000 is the absolute line in the sand. But I would rather like to see this level hold and bounce from here, as this is our massive inverse set and showed us which broke out, came back, bam, right? So if we don't hold this and we cross, then I will call the bear market, okay? Then I will call the bear market, extraordinary financial conditions, and so on. But everything with global liquidity points to that this is not the case, right? That everything around global liquidity and gold says we are going to go higher, right? So let's see here. Look at gold, for example. Gold. That was, is that my, oh, that's the right one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here is gold, right? And gold, I mean, it's a little bit lower, has put a new high here, but you put Bitcoin on a new price scale. Look. Okay. Okay, so we see that here, right? Gold is front running. Gold is front running Bitcoin. Gold starts pumping. Bitcoin goes higher. Gold corrects a little bit. Bitcoin corrects. Gold goes higher. Bitcoin runs, right? So there you go. So gold corrected a little bit. Bitcoin corrects a little bit. Gold starts to pump. Bitcoin question mark, right? It would be the first time that we really deviate here, but there you go. This is your comparison, right? Great, that's good to know. Some reassurance is always good. Yeah, and maybe so ETH is killing me. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, ETH is like, let's look at ETH as well. ETH USDT. I mean, the market will do what the market does, right? This is ETH. Let's get rid of Bitcoin here in the comparison. So yeah. Wait a second. Let's take the Bitstamp. No, that was actually a better chart. There we go. So let's get rid of this stuff here. Yeah. ETH didn't come, like ETH has massive trouble to get through this overhead resistance here, like where it really reacted every time and only in the peak of the last bull market basically was able to go through. So ETH has really this problem. Also, if you look at this, like if you would place a trend on all of these here, you'd see, okay, it seems to even lose trend. However, if we just take the wicks, then and this is what I like to do here, or would like to do for now here, and say, okay, maybe this is just to fuck around with everybody, is take the long wicks and see, right? See if it's still intact. But yeah, ETH is really bad. Hey PH, good to see you. Hey Troy, what's going on? Who brought their parachute? Yeah, exactly. Who's going to parachute out and who is just going to enjoy the free fall to see if we can do something about it. Let's also look at the Ecomi really quickly. I mean, what's interesting for me for Ecomi is, you will see it in a second, the volume. Why is it so high, right? Like everyone's like, shitcoin dead and so on. Volume is so high, but we are now really on the. I mean, this is you can't if you look at this. I mean, there's still 21 days, but you really can't like this because it's a textbook shooting star, which just says you would go lower. So you can't like this, but even though there's volume. I mean, it's still red volume, but as long as we don't break down here and completely go to, I don't know, 5 zeros and so on, we should be fine. We should be still fine in this whole triangle. Given also that the news are coming out, the only problem is Vivi and Ecomi. It will just continue to suffer if there is no, like, if the longer the altcoin season isn't coming, the longer this token and this project will also suffer. So this is something that where you're completely dependent. By the way, that accounts for every of these coins, like every of these altcoins. If the alt season doesn't come, you're screwed on these, right? You're completely screwed on those. A little bit concerned, keep seeing larger accounts in Vivi selling everything. Yeah, that is unfortunate. If they can even sell, so you have to see also like from the purchasing perspective, can they even sell? For me, I will keep all my stuff, because for me there's no sense in selling it right now. We will see a little bit how things go on the crypto event in Lisbon, where I still think that like the ticket is way too expensive. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah. I'm expecting some announcements for OMI in the next couple of months. That should be the case, but without an altcoin season to fuel it, it doesn't really matter. You could be listed on a lot of nice exchanges and so on, but without that, it doesn't matter. And Troy, back to your point with the concern is that you will not have a good time on Vivi if global liquidity isn't coming back and the altcoin season isn't coming back. So people are running short on money. People don't have money right now. Once people have extra and spare money, people will go back to buying NFTs, right? So you can have sell-offs, like super low prices and so on. And I will definitely capitalize on them if possible. But and also for altcoins. But most of us also feel that tightening, right? So you don't have unlimited money and stimmy checks to buy this stuff. So I think that's what people still feel, like the quantitative tightening, the high interest rates. If the Fed interest rates or the ECB interest rates and everything are high, generally it means like 3% interest rate times 2 is the interest rate that the average person has to pay. So people really feel that, because right now on their credits, on their loans, on their purchasing, like prices of goods are high and prices of credit is also high, and what they have to pay back on credit is high. No salary increases or very little, so people really feel that right now. And I think this is still the reason why there's nothing in crypto going on, because people don't have spare money to ape into crypto, not even into the biggest cryptos. So I think that will turn around with broader financial conditions, right? So we will see. But for me, it's a hodl, because we see, for example, Hero has almost 4 years of altcoins that were just in a bear market and suddenly they came back and you saw some life. I would say as long as Vivi doesn't go bankrupt, the same will happen to Vivi Collectibles. If it goes bankrupt, then yes, then you can kiss your stuff goodbye, right? But yeah, VeChain is still holding strongly compared to even with Sol and other coins. I wouldn't say that, because VeChain didn't also pump as much, but it's not the weakest, which is good to see. But it's also not strongest, as it hasn't put in new all-time highs or challenging their old all-time high. It hasn't even come close. So now the correction is also not as deep, right? So if you would compare the two, Solana has pumped quite a bit, is correcting hard. VeChain hasn't pumped that much. It only went to close to 8 cents, where the all-time high was at 26.7 cents. So yeah, we will see. We'll see what's going on. We will see the next push, yeah, for that, and see what comes out. But always, like I said, you have to have profit-taking measures in place. You remember when we were at these nice highs end of the year, I also said, hey, look guys, maybe that's where we want to take part of the profit, which is good, like taking your original investment, because then you have some money at hand to take part of these dips. Obviously if you buy this dip and then it's the return of the bear market, that's really bad, right? But we will see. Yeah, so guys, 30 people here, smash up the like button. That's really, really important, guys. We will be back now this full week. We will be back with one stream after the other. We will monitor this market closely. As when we're not traveling, we're going to do this. So make sure to smash the like buttons here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, notifications on. And guys, for today, I called wherever you are on the world. Have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. I catch you in the next live.